Hello practicum students. This is just a quick video to clarify what is meant by establishing context versus activating schema. And this is important because it's coming up in your second micro teaching, which is weeks 7 and 8. And that's to say week 7 is April 3rd and week 8 is April 10th. So let's go ahead and talk about a couple of possible ways that could be done. What I've done here is I've actually chosen a few different reading texts that I had around from previous students, and what I can do is just walk you through how I might activate schema and how I might establish context for such a thing. So the first one we have here is clearly it's both a listening and a reading, so however you want to present this. Let's say if I'm presenting this as a reading, the first thing I want to do is become familiar with what it is for myself. So I read that and I can tell it's a kind of online dating profile, and so that's what I'm asking my novice students to read. So I want to, in my micro teaching, keep in mind I haven't seen your lesson plans, I'll only see your micro teaching and your personal plan. In my micro teaching, the first thing I want to do is kind of activate schema. Alright, so I might put an image on the whiteboard, and that image could be anything general about, remember I want to start very general, so kind of general about dating or general about romance or whatever, like a heart and a couple. And what do you see in the picture? Nice and general. S1, S2 questions. What do you see in the picture? Maybe put their answers up on the whiteboard or my Google slide so that I have a place to kind of collect their ideas. We call that a class list sometimes. It's another tip for you. And then I want to kind of guide them, and so I'm personalizing and stuff. So you have these questions that come from them, you have the ideas that come from them, and you say, okay, now in this particular text, this is where the line is between activating schema and establishing context. In this text, I'm interested in establishing context for exactly what's written here. So now I'm less about the general idea and more about a little bit more specific and related to this text. So as you can see here, there's a picture of a young woman and there's a description of who she is and what she's looking for. So for something like this, one of the best ways to involve students might be to create a situation, right? So again, they're not reading for the sake of reading, they're reading because of something that they're interested in. And the way to do that with something like this, well, you want to maybe just choose the picture of the woman, or you could choose pictures of a lot of different individuals, is another way to do it. And you create kind of a situation where you have a friend or a relative who is single, and you came across this thing, this profile and this website, and what do you think? Should I read up about this person? Do you think she'd be a good match for my young friend, my young single friend who is in New York? Something like that. I create a situation. Do you think she'd be a good match? Are you curious? Are you interested? And I get people to make a little prediction, right? So now they're in the situation a little bit and they're making predictions. And this is key to connect that prediction to the reason for reading. You need to say something like, Great, now let's read and find out. Okay, so let's read and find out. Are you with me? Check comprehension. What are we doing? We're gonna see if, you know, our predictions about this person being a match for your friend, if our predictions are accurate, if we still believe it after we read. Okay, and so then that gives you a nice smooth transition to your top-down and bottom-up stages, which honestly, you guys seem pretty clear on the top-down, bottom-up thing. But one of the reasons I like this is it's a great context. This particular reading is a great context for a question like, you know, what kind of text is this? Where would we find this? And of course, it's a generic version of one of the online dating services. And so, okay. And that's kind of your main idea question. If you wanted another one, you could do the classic, you know, what's the reading about? Answer being this woman's dating profile. And details could be something like, does she have any animals, right? Is she interested in music? And name 4 other things she's interested in. Super easy. So that would be your activating schema, establishing context, moving into a top-down, bottom-up sequence. So that's just one example. Stay tuned for more. I'm happy to share more with you very soon.